Good morning, everyone. This is Nicholas Black. This is the first time I've done a video assignment like this, so please bear with me if I'm doing it incorrectly or stumble over my words. There's a couple places if you're really looking to visit areas that would give you an idea of what the culture was like at the Revolution. One of the first places that everyone goes to is the Freedom Trail in Boston. Now, this is a very good idea to go because there's probably more material here than in most places, especially as the Revolution, it was a seedbed of the Revolution. One of the places that you can go to while exploring that is Old North Church. It's actually the oldest standing building in Boston, and it's got a 191-foot tall steeple. It's well known for being in the poem about Paul Revere written by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. It's got some unique things that you can show you around there. One of the interesting things is there is a British major that was who actually was leading the Redcoats at the Battle of Lexington and Concord is buried there, and accidentally, and Lieutenant Shea was actually sent back to Westminster Abbey. That's interesting. But it's got quite a bit of unique things, and it can really show you, they've got a great tour there, I believe, and you can really see a lot of good stuff. If you're going there, one thing you might want to do is read up a little bit about it so you understand the context a little better. The History of the American People by Paul Johnson is a very good source on this. It really goes in depth about the context and the culture that's going on at that time. The second place that I would suggest if you're going to go is to Philadelphia, Independence Hall. But not only Independence Hall, but there's a whole little area there that I've been to. It's real nice. Cobblestone streets, the Independence Hall. It's got all kinds of stuff about Benjamin Franklin and Declaration of Independence. It's really neat. But just the actual cobblestone streets, in fact, sometimes they have carriages like trying to go around to show you what carriage rides were like, stuff. That's something that's really neat there. It's got its own little unique feel. David Edwin Harrell wrote a book that is very, very helpful about all this. And also, The Free and the Brave by Henry Graff is also, both of them are great. But the book by David Edwin Harrell really talks in depth about some of the culture and the aspects going on at Philadelphia during that time. For instance, in Philadelphia, you have the Swedish, the Germans involved there, and that's something you didn't necessarily have everywhere else. So that's something you can really look into there. I really like that. A People and a Nation is also a good source. I'm sorry, for the History of Unto a Good Land by David Edwin Harrell, I forgot to mention the book's name. Another source I was going to mention here is A People and a Nation. It's another auxiliary source you can use. The last place that I would go visit, if you're looking to go visit somewhere, is historic Jamestown. Now, I understand it's a little before the Revolution time, but it's one of the most popular tourist visited places. You can do all kinds of unique things. It's got tremendous educational value, but it's also one of the most unique things. They've got all kinds of collections there and historical stuff. So if you're looking to go visit some places, I highly suggest some of the places you go to: historic Jamestown, the Freedom Road, especially Old North Church, and I really suggest Philadelphia. It's a very unique spot. It's tremendous, and you can really get in depth into some of the unique cultures surrounding the Philadelphia time. The Swedish, the Germans, and with that source I mentioned, that's a real good understanding of what was going on in American political time, as well as being there, seeing the cobblestone streets and all the other things they have off. They have quite a bit to do with the Constitution, talking to you out there. There's a guided tour of Independence Hall. There's the chair which George Washington sat in at the Constitution. At Constitutional Convention. There's the ink stand used to sign the Declaration. So it's right there in Philadelphia. Not too hard to find, but that's highly what I suggest doing. Have a wonderful day, and I hope this was what you were looking for. Goodbye.